starting in 5 seconds. Sir, experience has shown that housing units raised by the official agencies for the poor are too expensive and the intended benefit does not reach the beneficiaries for whom the schemes are launched. Now, the housing policy acknowledges the imperative of bringing the prospective beneficiaries to the center of development process, and it emphasizes on involving the people in the housing and development programs. This is a welcome change, a welcome shift in the strategy to combat the problem. Man has always had the instinct to build a shelter for himself. Nothing else explains the mushroom growth of slums. However, a slum dweller being in constant fear of being evicted from the land which he has encroached upon does not really spend much on building a shanty for himself, even by his own standards. If he were to be assured of the security of tenure over that particular piece of land, and if that were not possible, if he were to be offered an alternative developed piece of land and provided with the basic services like water and sewage system, street lighting, and other important amenities, and also offered some small loan on soft terms, I am sure that every household will be able to build for itself a house which would conform to the basic minimum housing norms postulated by the housing policy. Sir, Gram Panchayats, municipal committees, and the non governmental organizations could also be associated in this national endeavor, particularly in the process of disbursement and repayment of loans, and also for encouraging the cooperative societies, thus relieving the government of some burdensome task. Sir, already there is a scheme for providing housing sites and construction assistance under the Minimum Needs Program, and also the World Bank funded sites and services scheme. And if such schemes are expanded and strengthened, the housing activity, particularly for the poor, will receive a big impetus. Instead of engaging itself in the house building business, the government should initiate a massive program of providing small developed piece of land to different categories of people. The National Commission on Urbanization has also in its report observed that it is lack of building plots which is the root cause of the problem. So today you know that the price of land accelerating at an unimaginable rate. Big business people, big land developers, and property dealers enter the business of real estate. Sir, a mention has been made, if not here, perhaps outside, that the present budget has not respected the long term fiscal policy. I think the long term fiscal policy says that in exceptional circumstances it could be modified. There could be no exception circumstance more than the calamity that we ran into last year, and to the extent that drought related cess was introduced and now it has been extended, it does not amount really to impairing the basic intention and character of the long term fiscal policy. So, from that point of view, if the major part of the fiscal policy has been left untouched, particularly the marginal rate of taxation, particularly the kind of tax shelter that they have provided, I think we should compliment the government for having carried out their promise with a kind of credibility which one expected from a responsible government like the one we have. I think tax centers provisions are there. My friend talked about that. I would like to submit one simple suggestion that within the overall target of rupees 40,000 under section 80C, if the ratios are changed, that is, we have at the moment up to rupees 6,000 100% relief, more than 50%, and then 40% relief, then 50%, and then 40% relief to review it. Nobody loses. The money is retained within the system. The only thing is that the exemption limit about which my friend talked helps the big saver mainly, but so far as the small saver is concerned, he is likely to benefit if Section 80C provisions are reviewed for the benefit of people who save in the first round with a larger amount entitling 100% concessions rather than tapering off after rupees 6,000. Perhaps there is a need for a little gesture that will bring benefit to a large number of middle class people. The principle of net savings has been carried further, particularly through the National Savings Scheme, where 100% deduction is allowed up to rupees 30,000 and the rate of interest has been raised to 12%. To that extent, we are carrying the economic management on a healthier path. Sir, I am not an expert on defense, but on aspects related to industry and dispensation fixed and promoted by the presence of a very distinguished member of the government from the Ministry of Defense sitting here. I would like to make two or three observations. In defense, we cannot afford to blunt the teeth of the armed forces in the country in the interest of security and other related matters. Stop.